Taurus, how you doing? Stop, Taurus. How you doing? So please make sure you watch the video all the way through till the end, because it really affects their algorithm for people that just keep watching it and then clicking off and going elsewhere and whatnot. Please make sure that as soon as you click play, you watch it all the way through at the end, even if you've got to put it in your back pocket and turn the sound down. Okay, it really does affect the algorithm, and it helps out if you smash the like button, leave a comment, and click on the adverts. Please, it doesn't matter. You don't have to buy anything. Just click on the advert. The moment you click on the advert, I actually get a percentage of you clicking on the advert. Okay, so any adverts, click on them, open it up in another browser, close it, done. Okay, that really helps out. Okay, so don't forget also, before we begin, you can also watch this, John, as Sagittarius, Taurus, Life Path 5, because they're all 5s. Okay. Don't forget you can do that if you're following me in that method. So let's see, Taurus, what have you got coming up for your next 48 hours for Taurus? What have they got going on? What's their energy saying? What are you saying? So insane in the membrane. Some of you could be smoking copious amounts of ganja or weed. Some of you have manifested a new job and you've kind of, or the name Rob or Robin or Robert or Robertson. Okay, I think that came up in the last reading I did of Sagittarius, the name R. Okay, Rob or Robin or Robert. Well, that is a 5. Sagittarius, Taurus are 5s. Okay, but earning money, earning a crust, brand new job. Okay, brand new living, starting over again with Jen, Julian, Jason, Justin, Jackie, Jasmine, Jack. Okay, and I'm manifesting money in my life. Now, I'm not going to argue against however you believe, because it's a Taurus. However it is that you believe you want to manifest money. Me, I don't believe in just thinking about more money and suddenly you get it. You got to have action or get it, Jackson. But like, it's kind of like, okay, I've got money, it's coming in, and I'm doing my due. Okay, Betty or Beth, Bethlehem. Some of you could be very religious. Okay, what's here in the name Mark? Let's see, Taurus. What's going on with Taurus? So you got the Queen of Wands. There you go. Sagittarian energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarian. But if it is, that would be the 5. It comes up in your reading. There's the 5 that comes up in your normal reading energy here. So you've kind of got this money, but disappointed or worried about it. Now, it could be your mother or mother-in-law, or so, or the name Laura or Lucifer. It could be a Capricorn. But worried about money. The Queen of Wands is also someone that's very hyper-focused on worrying about their children, where they are, where, you know, when they're coming back, when they're not coming back, when they're at the house. I feel lonely on my own. So if you have parents that are basically not married, or one of them is deceased and you've just got like a mother, okay, the mother is actually worried that she is now on her own when her kids are not around her. She has to do things on her own, and she could have this attachment to the children that she's got, okay, and like worries about, because like if you live with your mum, right, and you go out and your mum's left on her own, she is like constantly looking at this 5 of Pentacles to think, what's happening with my kids? Where are they? Are they all right? Have they got enough food, drink, water, money? Someone's mum is very generous here, but I don't know if the 5 of Pentacles is like, I'm trying to lead my own life and do my own thing, but you keep controlling it. Maybe, I don't know, it can be, but it's like this, I'm always worried. Have you got enough money? Have you got your thermos? Have you got drink? Have you got water? Have you got clothes on your back? Have you got this? Have you got that? And it might be the Queen of Wands sometimes can come through as a dictator for some. Okay, I like to dictate what you should and shouldn't do and have and shouldn't have, and I'm constantly worried about you all the time. But normally when you get another person say, don't keep worrying. Okay, it's also what I'm picking up. I don't see how the 5 of Pentacles is related to the 10 of Pentacles. It can be where you've got enough money and you've got money in the bank, okay, but the 5 of Pentacles, because if Pentacles come up, man, I'm starting to read money. It's simple as that at the moment, right? But 10 of Pentacles is, I earn a good living, I've got a load of money in the bank, but the 5 of Pentacles is, but I need to add on top of that money in order to be able to continue to take money out of my account. So I need to go to work and earn money, but I'm worried about the outcome at the end of the week or the end of the month, whether the money that I've got this week or month is going to last that. Okay, yeah. It might also be like maintenance and stuff that needs doing around the house, but the mum is worried about, because I pick up for some of you that this Queen of Wands is actually single, and she's a single mum, right? But she's on her own, and she's got a house that needs fixing, and maybe no one to actually fix it, and no guy that is around that's going to say, "Oh, I'll fix all your plumbing and all your, your everything around the house." And she is more concerned and thinking, right, if I need this fixing in the house, I'm going to have to either do it myself or save up some money in order to get a new carpet. And I don't know why I'm fucking picking up on these Taurus, but I am. So, or Michael. But like, I've got to save money in order to renovate and do the house. Okay. Someone's mum, there's somebody's mother out there going through that. Okay. What they're doing is planning. They're not bought it yet. Okay. But they're saving up to buy it. But they're having to take money out of their savings in order to be able to do that. But at the same time, this queen keeps worrying about their children and stuff, and maybe giving the children money as well, but then worrying about where they're... It's because it's like this Queen of Wands. This is only one story at the minute, Taurus. But this Queen of Wands is like really concerned about their kids, and they give a lot. They give a lot, and they give you this and they give you that, but then they leave themselves short. Okay. When they leave themselves short, they then worry about getting the money back that I've just given to my children to get it back. Did you see? And it might be like an IOU, but I don't think so. I think it's more of a, I give you it off my own good grace of my heart, blah, blah, blah. Here's the money, okay? And then I'll just save up again in order to get what I want, so I'll be second. Like it's kind of like that here at the moment. So let's see, Taurus, what's going on with Taurus for the next 48 or whenever? Because it depends whether you get another reading as soon or not, Taurus. You could be dealing with Pisces or a Life Path 3, okay? But if you guys perform and you click on the adverts, you subscribe, you like, and I get a load of views, you'll get another Taurus reading. Unfortunately, if you don't and it goes the opposite way, your readings will constantly be on Patreon and you'll have to pay. Sorry, but it's the only way I earn a living. I can be doing multiple videos and not receiving anything in return apart from losing. So that's the definition of madness, right? Why would you keep doing it? So let's see. Taurus, so please make sure you participate in the channel as much as you can. Taurus, because a lot of you have been asking for Taurus, and I'll do it, but depends on the performance, guys, right? So you got the 10 of Swords. It's a very weird reading. It's a little bit like what come up in the 5 reading for Sagittarius just a minute ago. 10 of Swords came up, okay, and it was around these offers that were here. It might be like, I've kind of got someone in mind, but I don't know. Like, love life-wise, it's kind of like, well, I've kind of got someone, but I've got kids, I've got children, I haven't got the time for a relationship. It seems to be more hardship than anything, like to be able to find the time to put the effort in towards like a relationship and think, oh, I'm kind of getting like, because I pick up that this person here is like cozy. Like I get in my onesie or whatever, I get in my seat at night, I watch TV and I'm quite happy, but I am also a little bit lonely, but my kids are not here. And I've kind of got someone, I could make the effort, but it's kind of like I'm getting too old for all that shit now, and I can't be bothered. My mother does that. Right? My mother does that. She's got options in her life, but she's kind of like, well, I'm like, God, why not? Like, you got someone there, all right. So, let's see. Any of you got mothers that do that, or are you mothers that do that? Okay. Because the 5 of Pentacles is I'm going to have to get done up, okay, do myself up, doll myself up, make up everything, okay, and I'm going to have to physically go out and put myself in front of where there's men or women if I want to pick up, right? But it feels like that, oh, it's cold out there, I can't be asked, right? Let's see. So why is the Magician here for Taurus? Oh, Jesus Christ, Taurus, what is wrong? Well, you know me, I read in numerology, 5s, and it doesn't always have to be. You can be someone that's suffering through ADHD, finding it very difficult to focus. They're trying to focus on work, money, but they're getting distracted. Now, I can tell you from a person that does have intense ADHD, I've literally just sat here from doing one reading to the next, just watching YouTube aimlessly, and I had to snap out of it, stop getting distracted by the fucking computer and do some work, right? So, because I can get focused and then I get up in my head and then I start feeling drained and tired and like, oh God, I can't be bothered to do any work now. It's like, why? Well, I've just been focusing that long on the TV and shit that I haven't really thought about doing. Right? So, be careful around people with like ADHD here. Oh, I mean, is it mind games? Is it manipulation? Is someone arguing over the fact of like money and assets? Because I do pick up, right, that there's either a grandmother or mother or someone here that does give to people, but then once they've given it to someone, they moan about not having it because they've given it. God, this is my mother, isn't it? But like, oh, here, lovey, I'm just going to give you this. And you're like, no, it's all right. I don't need it. And you're like, no, have it. And you're like, oh, okay, thanks, mum. Right. And then they're kind of like, oh, I've got no money this week. You're like, fuck. You're like, well, I'm having to work harder and everything else now. And like, fuck, bruv, you offered it to me. Like, I didn't want it. You're like, well, no, I don't want it back. I just want you to pay attention to how hard I'm working. And you're like, yeah, well, I know that, but so am I. And you're like, yeah, but I need some attention from you. And you're like, right, I'm going to see my girlfriend or boyfriend. And you're like, oh, that's it, leave me on my own. And you're like, man, what are you trying to bribe me? Here, right? You're trying to pay for my attention, or you're trying to bribe me for like staying with you or being with you, or like bribe for my attention. Like, well, I give you this, or I did this for you, and I cooked and I cleaned. And you're like, yeah, but you're my mum. They're like, yeah, well, I don't have to do that. Well, no, you're right, you don't, but I didn't ask you to do it in the first place. You just decided to dictate my life, take over, do it for me when I didn't ask. So if I'm not asking you to do any of those things, then stop fucking moaning about doing them because I didn't ask you to do it in the first place. No, but I want to. What if... Right, get away. Yeah, because I can't work you out, right? It comes across as dictation of dictating someone's life in the direction they want it to go. They worry about the person, they fuss and they fight around the person to do it, but then once the person's received it or taken it, they make the other person feel guilty for taking it and receiving it when they give it in the first place. You give as good as you get. And it's kind of like, man, now I regret taking it. Now I regret saying it. Now I'm like, oh, yeah, sorry, I'm just in a bit of a mood today. And you're like, fuck me, Sagittarian. My brother, you're always in a mood, aren't you? Right? What's wrong with your temper? Why have you got such a... Well, I've got Sagittarius in my chart. Oh, Jesus Christ, it sounds like my mother. Sorry, but, oh, God, Taurus, man, sorry. Hold on. It's where everybody clicks off and says, well, I'm sure this blonde idiot said about, like, watching the video all the way through. Got to turn my TV, and my TV turns itself off every 5 minutes. I don't know why. It's really annoying. Well, it saves electricity if I'm not doing it, but let's see, 10 of 10. So it's a mum. A bit Gemini. It's a mother that's getting like Nancy Drew. Like, oh God, and it's just like, this card is about loving and caring for my children and paying for them, and I give birth to them, so, I do my due and I do my bit, there you go, there you are. Now, whether your kids are giving you anything in return or not, I don't know, but if it is, don't do it if they're not asking, right? I've been in this scenario loads of time myself, guys. I'm sorry, but I have, and it's triggering me off, right? When you don't ask for something and you're just staying out of the way and you don't ask, but someone overtakes and like, but I'm cleaning all around here, and you're like, hold on a minute, open your legs, Daphne, and let's just give that a good old scrub. You're like, get out, right? And you're like, I'm just like, nosing in everything that you've got. And you're like, oh, you get under my skin, man. Will you stop doing that? And like, you tell me. And you're like, oh, God, I just cannot I can't win around you, can I? Oh, but I love you, sweetheart. But crunch. Oh, fuck. This person here, I'm sorry, bruv, but they're mixed up here. I believe that they've got a sharp tongue on them and a sharp temper, right? Sharp tongue, sharp temper, and it comes across as mind games and manipulating to get attention, but then when I've got it, I don't even want it. It's like, now I've got your attention, I want you to be quiet and listen, but, oh God, man, this is a reading for my mother. She does have Sagittarius in her chart. But have you ever met anyone in life, right, where they take so long to get to the point, but you basically know what the point is at the beginning? Like, they start to tell you a story, you pretty much know what the ending's going to be, because it's a mundane story that relates to what they're telling you about. So there's no build up to the conversational ending. And instead of like you're gripped and you're like, well, so what happens? It's more than likely, oh God, get over, like, will you hurry up and get to the point? And you're like, well, hold on a minute, I'm trying to talk. And you're like, I know that, sweetheart, but I know exactly what you're going to say. And you're like, oh, well, you ain't got time for me, have you? And you're like, oh, filling up, Tommy, like, oh. Queen of Wands, Two of Cups. God, your mother's got a connection with someone. This came up in another reading where I said it could be your mother. I think it was Libra. Yeah, well, two. You could have Libra in their chart, maybe. Why do I keep saying their chart and focusing on someone's mum? Readings take over. It's like, if that's what it's about, try and generalize it for Jen. Oh, this is you, Jen. You're right, Jennifer. What is going on with this Queen's Two of Cups? What is going on with this Queen's Two of Cups? What's the future hold for it? Or sort of draining, tired, can't be bothered. It's like I've got a connection with someone, but they're a little bit, and you're like, well, you're not going to go and see them, or like I invite them over, you're like, yeah. Like, oh, I don't want one, love here. I'm all right on my own. And you're like, just get up there. And you're like, no, I can't be bothered. Oh, God, I'm watching Coronation Street tonight. I'm watching EastEnders. Got me programs on. Oh, Jesus, there's another woman here now. Well, if you don't want him, I'll have him. Someone's mother-in-law is a pain in the arse. I'm just saying that. If this is the same woman, she wants looking after, but she wants her children to do it. Like, I want a man in my life, and I want someone that's going to protect and look after me financially, and you know, I want someone. But they can't be bothered to put in the effort to get what they may have as a connection with someone. But they want looking after, but for some reason, Spirit keeps telling me that they're looking more towards their children as their moral sort of like support system of their children than what they are doing looking for a male influence in their life. They're looking at that person more as a unit of measurement, weighing up the odds and the evens with Stephen, or weighing up the odds. Odds are, how bizarre, Queen of Pentacles, King of Pentacles. Oh, that really does put a boot in the scenario, bruv. Because this King and Queen of Pentacles are actually on top of one another with someone in a relationship or a commitment. For you guys that are watching in a commitment. So who on earth is this Queen of Wands then? Is it your mother-in-law? Is it where you've kind of got like where you're married, your commitment, you know, you're in a relationship and you've got things going on and it's a little bit Nancy, but then you've got this Queen of Wands that's coming across as a parent dictator or a sibling that dictates the outcome for the King and the Queen of Pentacles, where we're like, what's happening for Christmas? Oh, Helga's coming over. And you're like, oh, what? You're like, oh, brother, she got to come over here. She's going to start like dictating fucking everything. You're like, well, she's my mum. And you're like, Yeah, I know that, Dave, but God, bruv, have you lived with her? And you're like, yeah, fucking most of my childhood. How was that? Terrible. So why do you want her over here for Christmas? Well, she's me mum. Yeah, but come on, Dave. Like, she, oh, it's like that. Yeah, it is like. You have to invite them over. Well, when you invite them over, they start telling me about their love life. And I don't really want to hear that from my mother. She starts telling me about, oh, I've got this and... Now, trust me, you don't have to dislike the video. Your mother-in-law is not watching this video, right? Because if she is and you're sitting there in front of your mother-in-law and you're thinking those things, you're in the shit, Taurus. 8 of Wands. 8 of Wands. Everything's all right. 6 of Cups, family, children. I told you, it's like someone, if you're mixed up in the head, like my mother, right, and you've got Sagittarius in your chart, and you are like a life path 4, but you are a Taurus rising and a Taurus north, but also a life path 4, my God, would you smother the death out of children? Look for those placements like my karmic sibling type sort of energy, because it's so important. I always ram this guy's over to yourself, right? Raymond. But like, you know, 5s and 4s are so conflicted, even though you haven't got 4s here. But if you're a person that has like a life path 4, okay, say for instance, you come up as Scorpio Aries, right? So if you have Taurus as a rising or a north to go towards it, you also go towards your life path. You change in your life path number. It transforms from early years to later years, how I would dictate that as a reading within the number, right? Because I would look for the major arcana. But so your life path in my prediction is like your north node and your rising. You go towards the number of numerology as well. So if you're a 4, you're going towards Scorpio, but if you're a Taurus rising, you're also going towards a Taurus, which means fuck. The person, like, to have a lot of conflict with the person, you'd be like, oh, like, just like you're so dynamically aggressive. Why? It's because their opposite signs of their own signs are all conflicted, like insulted by astrology. It's like an headache, Dave, an headache, right? So there you go. It's like Amber Heard, right? Amber Heard. She had a lot of Taurus and stuff in her chart and 5, but within her life path and everything, it could have really conflicted itself because the life path number comes up as a star sign, maybe 2. If it's 4, it's Scorpio Aries. If it's 5, it's Taurus and Sag, right? Right, so you could be with like a life path 5 and they get very Nancy and like angry all the time, but then they're very calm and collected but very opinionated, and they're very structured in the way that a relationship should go and be. And if it doesn't, they go to a Sagittarian energy, start getting like wound up and then aggressive and then let it out and then let the anger out. And then it comes across as a mind game and a manipulation because the condition of Taurus and the relationship going in the way I want it to isn't going in that direction. And if it doesn't, I'm going to get angry at you because that's how I'm conditioned to believe, right? So always look for those around you because that's going to be your main obstruction, okay? So there you go, guys. There's your bizarre reading. If you would like more, then please make sure that you do everything that you can in order to support the channel with likes and subscriptions. But most of all is click on the adverts and join Patreon or the join button below. If the readings are not doing very well, and unfortunately I can't do so many at all, but every single day do I do readings and get them out on Patreon for every star sign, 1 to 12. And then I start again, 1 and 12, 1 and 12, all the way through. You get different cards, different things. Now I'm doing it permanently. I'll start looking at, okay, this week, let's rearrange the readings and look for something different. And then I'll do money and love and what's coming up next. Like, I'm also going to be doing a yearly reading soon because that's coming up. So that'll be for the silver and gold tier. So, you know, if you're on there, you're going to have all of those. Okay. Thanks very much, guys. Really do appreciate it. And I will see you on your next one.